Yeah, we have Jupyter Notebook. I have.
Okay,
I have
perfect.
Python IDLE.
Okay, ID. Okay, so you have ID, but which one? Python or PyCharm, something like that. Which one you have?
Python.
Can you share your screen? Python, just Python ID.
Yeah, 1 second.
I think this one, right? Okay. IDLE Python 3.12. Okay, something like that, right? Okay, you have interpreter directly shell kind of thing, like simply executing the statements. Got it. So this is like installing Python shell you have. Okay, no problem. So try to install Jupyter Notebook. I got it. Yours is shell actually.
Can you see Vinay?
Yeah, yeah. This I got. Yeah, this is the shell. So for interactive development, interactive development, I would suggest you to install Jupyter Notebook on top of this Python already it is installed, but just try to install Jupyter Notebook by watching into some YouTube video or yeah, from some documentation you'll be finding. If not, I think Akhil, you can help, right? So basically, you already installed Jupyter Notebook, so I think it's not a big deal to uh,
Yeah, sure. Sure,
suggest, right?
Vinay. Sure, Vinay.
Yeah. Yeah, Satya, did you install Python?
No, Vinay, I will install tomorrow.
Okay, just try to install Python and then later you try to install, create some environment, virtual environment, and then you'll be able to install Jupyter Notebook. So it's basically one YouTube video will help you to install that. Just go through the process by, looking into the video. Okay, so before getting that, so I'll just open my Jupyter Notebook and
Okay.
I'll just tell you like why and where this Python is used. Okay, so let me. Okay, my screen is visible, right? Okay, so if I go to glue DDL Spark scripts. Okay, so this is the Python code. So basically, this is the Python code. So it's not exactly Python codes. I mean, this is Python code, but using Python, I implemented Spark. Okay, Spark is in future you'll be learning Spark. That would be for 10 hours, something like that. But yeah, basically this is Python code. Okay, so this is you'll be reading the data, writing the data. You'll be transforming the data. You'll be reading as a table, like data frames, likewise. So basically this is Python code. You can see .py extension. So which means Python code, right? So this is a script. Okay, this is Python script which this is script. But in order to learn Python, I would suggest you going for Jupyter Notebook, like notebooks, because that is something integrated. That is more of interactive way of developing or learning the things. So just we can go with the if this is the one, what we have to do, I have to run complete script. Okay, silver layer.py. I have to run complete script at a time, right? So I can't run this particular piece of code once and this particular piece of code once and this one's not like that. So we will go with Jupyter Notebook. So where you will be running this particular piece of statements once and this statements once, so likewise. So that you'll be understanding, easily. So in data engineering, so Python you don't need to have more of advanced knowledge, okay? But in SQL you should have it, but Python you don't need to have more advanced knowledge. Just having knowing the basics of Python until connecting to the database, like creating the function, defining the function, calling the function, passing the arguments. So this kind of basic things are enough for data engineer, because in future you'll be writing PySpark script which doesn't require like which requires only basic understanding of Python. So today in this class we'll go through like Python basics, So I'm just opening my Jupyter notebook. So it's not required to open like this in your laptop, but I installed over here. So I'm going to that place. Okay, you might have different commands. So you might have, Anaconda distribution, and you can simply type Jupyter notebook like this. You will be getting it from search bar as well. Okay, that depends on your, environment that you create. So just whatever you follow from some YouTube video. So there you'll be able to do it. Okay, so basics, we'll start with basics. So these are the notebooks. Okay, notebooks ends with IPYNB extension. Yeah, scripts ends with .py extension py. So yeah, okay. So here Python. So the syntax is very easy. Okay, when comparing to Java and the other programming languages, the syntax of Python is very easy, and that is more flexible enough in data engineering domain as well as machine learning. So most of the algorithms are created using machine learning. Sorry, created using Python. If you could see ChatGPT, most of the things are completely used Python everywhere. The Python is used in machine learning, data engineering things, and also sometimes even web applications also. You like Flask and all will be using Python. And then comments in Python are written. So yeah, we'll just go with like comments. So what is comment? So comment is nothing but comments are written with hash at the beginning of the statement. Python will ignore these comments. They are used to explain the code. So this one Python will, so whenever I had to run this cell, if you have worked on Jupyter Notebook, you'll be able to understand easily. It's nothing. So this is the code. I'm just entering. This means I executed this part alone. Okay. So that is a benefit of notebook. Okay. So I'm entering this part alone. So Jupyter notebooks, not only Jupyter notebook, we have Zeppelin notebook, Jupyter notebook. These are some kind of platforms where you will be, writing the code very interactively. So this is the platform. This is simple, code, like you are giving a description. It's not a code. So here you are giving, this is also a description. And if you could see here, it is the code part, code cell. So in case of Python file, it's a simple straight text file where you are writing the code and then making it as py extension. Whenever you want to run this code, run this file, you will write Python silver layer.py. So likewise, you will write in the command line prompt, right? But when coming to Jupyter Notebook, you can execute it interactively and you'll understand which part is doing which thing. Okay. So now, if we talk about till here, anyone has any doubts? Okay, I assume you don't have any doubts. Okay. So Python comments. Comments are nothing but, so let's suppose if you could see this Python code. Okay, this Python code, this is real, real time code. Basically, it's a code for data engineering POC project. So if you see code, what we have written here, initialize the glue object. So this means this whatever piece of code is written here, that is doing initializing the glue object. Okay. If you don't write this, no problem. Okay. But let's suppose if I show this code to somebody like you, me, if somebody written this code and so like this will help you to this will help you to understand what is happening underneath. I mean here. So what is happening here? So this what it is saying, initialize the glue object. Even if you don't write, this code will work because Python will ignore this. Okay, this is just for purpose of understanding the code. Okay, here if you could see retrieve arguments from AWS glue job. Okay, these things are doing this thing. So that is what, if somebody is reading the code, he'll be able to understand the code. That's it. By hash, if you remove this, this will be considered as code. But if you add it, this will be commented and this won't be executed. This is just for showing purpose. That's it. Okay. So I mean, I'm making the user to understand the things. Okay. Did you get what is comments are? Anyone has any doubts still here? Lokesh, Priyanka, what are comments?
Vinay, can you repeat it again?
Repeat. Okay. So here, if you could see, this is a script. I directly come to you and give this script to you. Okay. Even if you're technical and if you know Spark and all. So even if you're technical, if you know Spark and all, you will not be able to understand what we were doing here, right? So what I'm as a good developer, I mean, there are good developers and bad developers. I mean, coders, right? Some people write code differently, and some people, if somebody write code, you even if you go to and go and show to somebody, they might be not able to understand even they know the technical things. Okay, this is good way of organizing the code, writing comments because you just return, you know what is this? Okay, that's it, fine. And you came here, what here we are doing? You straight away you checked it. You might not be understanding. So if you write comments, initialize the glue object. Okay, they are doing some initialization of the glue object. That means you are able to understand the code. This is just a description. That's it. So I can write anything. I can write add a comma. I am Vinay. Okay, I can write this way. No problem. Python will ignore this. Since you have added hash, this Python will ignore this. That's it. It is
Okay.
just for code reading purpose. Okay.
Okay.
Python will not do anything with this. Python will not, do. I mean, it will be commented, right? This is
Mm.
commented. Commented means just purpose of this comments is nothing but to show the user that this what it is doing in the next level. Next.
O- Okay.
You can write anything if you want, but ideally, how this is used in real time is people used to write code, and in between, if this is 100 lines of code, okay, this is 100 lines of code. So you might not be knowing, right, what you are doing at what point with simple code. So here, what we are doing, we are just altering. Okay, by looking at this, you might not be able to understand what you will write. After writing the data, add a new partition to the Athena table. So this thing, we are doing it here. So which means if somebody simply going through the, instead of going through complete script, if they are going through comments, okay, initializing the object, and then, oh, trying to retrieve the arguments from AWS Glow object, okay, yeah, getting the access the bronze data, okay. Next, what they are doing, calculating the max batch ID, or through this code they are calculating. So they're filtering the data for batch latest data, okay, that's fine. And they're adding some transformation logic here, okay, and then define the output. Okay. So likewise, quickly you'll be able to understand the code rather going through, okay, with column renamed order ID. So like not like this, right? So this comments helps the user to read it, to understand the code effectively and easily. Got it?
Yes, Vinay.
Perfect, right? I mean, this is simple topic, bro. I mean, it's simple. Just it is just commented. Commented means it doesn't have any it won't be executed. It is just for seeing the code, that's it. For seeing the code, I mean, to understand the code, that's it. Okay,
Okay.
so single line comment. Okay, hash represents single line comment, and if you could see, this is a multi-line comment. If you're writing three double quotes and three double quotes here, you can write how whatever you wanted to give sentence your wish. So this thing in real time, how it will be useful, you know you will be writing this way. Okay, now this place is commented. Okay, what I will write, this silver layer dot py file uh, will read data from bronze layer table and do transformations. I mean, do some transformations logics, transformation logics, and load it to gold, silver database. Okay, so now I'll just give this script to Lokesh, okay, and I'll ask what this silver layer is doing. So now what he does, he will just directly look at the comment. Oh, this silver layer is doing these things. Okay, that's it. So this is helping the user to understand the code. This is a multi-line comment. This is a single line comment. Okay, got it? So
Yes,
don't
Vinay.
think about don't think about the content I have written. You might not be aware of this content. Just understand what is a comment. That is, this content is something you might not understand. This is nothing but just give, in real time, people use this multi-line comments like this. Before the script, they'll write this. That means if anybody who is, let's suppose somebody entered into your project who is new into your project. So now you won't be telling, right, going to this guy and hey Lokesh, just silver table we are doing silver layer dot python file is reading this data and this that. You won't be saying there will be 200 to 300 files in your project, Python files. So you won't be going and telling him what this file is doing, what that file is doing. No, right? So as a good developer, you have to make sure that for every code you prepare, you have to write comments so that the someone who comes into our team or someone is your who is your colleague will know. I mean, they are not required to. I mean, it no need to get back to you and ask about the code that you have developed. They can just look it in the comments. And if your table, I mean, if you whenever you are doing real work, okay, now you are practicing, you don't need to do this. But when you are doing and the company, so you have to make a habit of writing comments. Okay, so that means a good developer or good coder. Okay, got it. So once you develop complete code in your company, you can take some time and write the comments. Okay, it's not mandatory to write the comments while you are doing it. You can write complete code and say, if you write the comment, that is a good developer habit. That is what it is. Okay, so next, if you could see print hi, this is actual Python code. So this is executed, but this is not executed. That means Python will ignore the comments because that is just to show the user. If you could see, the below line prints hello world. Which is printing hello world? This is printing hello world. But this one is no use except we visualize and say that's it. We will see it, but once I execute it, nothing happens except this one will be executed. That's it. Now if I write this, that is also commented, nothing will come. Okay, so that is what it is. So now how to print it, anything. So print single quotes hi. I will write hi, this is Vinay. Okay, you can see hi, this is Vinay. So this is what it is. And then variables, Python variables means variables are the container for storing data values. Python has no command for declaring a variable. So now here Python are the see x equals to 5, y equals to John. Okay, I'm entering this. So whenever I mean I'm entering this in the sense I'm entering shift and enter. So that means this cell will be executed. Okay. Hmm. So variables means variables in Python is this is x equals to y and x equals to 5 and y equals to John. So this y is not the x equals to 5 means which is a integer, right? So this is a type of integer. John means this is a string, right? String. And now we are printing x comma y. This is in single quotes. That means it's a string. Hi, this is Vinay will be printed like this. But if I write without single quote, x means x holds some value which is 5. So that's why 5 is printed. Y means y holds some value which is John. That's why John is printed. So comma means it is not going to print comma because it's not single quoted, right? It is just variables we are trying to access it. So now I wanted to show you what is the type of x value. whether it is int or John, like that. So print type of X, print type of Y, which is string. So type of X is int, type of Y is string, right? So you can see class int, which is X, class Y star, str means string, which is Y. So are you clear till here? Variables, how to define a variable?
Yes, Vinay is clear.
Yeah, please respond quickly so that we can, I'll be understanding, you know it. Okay, you understood it. So now again we have Python data types. So data types, um, so you will be checking the type of the data type using type, right? So now we will just go through few data types. So my int, I'm just declaring as a my int. So which is, I mean, defining as a my int. So simply you can name whatever you want. So just for easy naming convention and understand, you have to understand. So my int equals to 7. My float equals to 7.0. String, my string equals to hello. So this is how you define, uh, you know, define the variables. So now I'm just trying to check type of my string is, which is str. So if you could see, I'm simply, I have exited this, okay, and even I'm simply writing this as well without even a print statement, without writing print statement. So it is showing str, and this one is to showing this. So generally using, whenever you are using notebook, sometimes if you don't write print, that is also fine. But whenever you are using these things, you have to write print and show the things. Okay. So notebooks are interactive way of developing. So if you miss the string, sorry, print, so that is fine. It will show you. Okay. So this is how you try to get what type of variable it is. So type of my string, which is str. So print my string hello, k equals to single quotes 7, which is a string, right? Even though 7 is an integer, since you added these things in the single quotes, that is why it is a string. Okay. Here you didn't add it as equals to single quotes, right? That is why it is int, even though that int can be a string, right? So we have made it this, but string cannot be a number, right? Generally, hello cannot be a integer, right? So that is not possible. But integers can be strings. So now we can see str. Okay, are you clear?
Yes, Vinay, it's clear.
Yes, Vinay.
Okay. Yeah, Python numbers. So we have numbers. So we already gone through this. Again, we are going. Okay. A equals to 5, B equals to 5.0, C equals to 5J. So I think in your maybe seventh class or eighth class, you might have known complex number, like something like 3i plus j. So that is complex numbers. So yeah, so maybe you won't be using in data engineering or any other way, but simply just to understand, you can just look at this complex number. But no, you don't need to learn this as well. But nowhere we were using this kind of complex numbers logic until, and maybe in machine learning they might be using, but for some calculations, but nowhere you will be using. So just remember, just simplify is float, and this, whenever you get 5.0 like dot, then that is called float. So type of a, which is int, you already know it is int. And casting, okay, I wanted to convert this b to be a sorry, type a to be string. Okay, so if you could see, so I'll make it d. Okay, d equals to str of a, so which means it's casted. Okay, now a is converted to string, right? If you could see, type of a is int, but I'm converting this a variable, and like converting means casting it to string and assigning it to d variable. Now I'll write d variable here, d, and enter it. So which is 5, which is 5, but I'll just try to get it a type. Okay, type of d. So which is str now because we typecasted it using this way. Okay. So if you could see a is int, I wanted to convert this a to string. Okay. So that's why I just made str of a, which is d equals to str of a, which is type d equals to type of d is str string. Okay, this is what casting is. Casting means converting the data types. So now we have b, which is float. So type of b is nothing but float. Type of b is float. Okay, type of a we done. So again, so if you could see small letter, right? A small letter, and if I'm writing capital A, it says a is not defined. This means Python is case sensitive. Case sensitive means you have to write the things exactly the way how you are defining. If it is a capital letter, that is something. If it's a small letter, that is something. Okay, this is a and this is a. A is not defined. Okay, that's why we say Python is case sensitive. Okay, so casting we already done. So now we are passing 2 and we are, however, this is 2 is an integer, but again, we are typecasting in that way. So which will be, however, it will be int. So 2, 2 we are passing and making it as float, which will be 2.0 because it's float. Now string 2 we are passing and we are making it a string that will be single quotes and 2. So this is how casting works. So whenever you have some variable, if you wanted to cast it to some other, data type, you can write data type and open the brackets and close the brackets, and inside that variable or number, whatever number or character that you wanted to add it. So that is what Python casting is. Python strings. So if you could see, we have a equals to hello world. We have written it. Okay, and I want only, okay, I'll just make it in a way. Now a. So now if I write print a, so you might be thinking we have written a equals to hello world here, and we have written somewhere a equals to 5, right? So no problem. Actually, currently I'm running this code, right? I mean, I already assigned first it is 5, but I assigned hello world equals to a equals to hello world. So the last run is this one, right? I ran this last recently, this one now itself I'm running this. So now a equals to hello world. Okay, that a equals to 5 will be vanished. Okay, so that's what I mean. People get confused if they are new to Python. So you might be thinking this guy ran a equals to 5 and again he have run a equals to hello world. So does it make sense? You might be thinking, but yeah. So since we are running this, so okay, now I'm writing hello print a, which is hello world. And now what I will be doing, I'll just try to slice it. Okay, indexing, sorry, index. This is what indexing and as slicing is. So just count this. It starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I want only this hello part. Okay, so I'll start with 0 and colon and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll make it 5, which will return hello. Okay, 0 till 5. So it is 0, it's 1, it is 2, and it is 3, and it is 4. That's it. But you have to write 5, 1 letter extra. Okay, this is the start position. This is the end index, and there is one more increment index for slicing. So if I write it, whenever you are writing this start, end, increment. So this is what actual thing is. Whenever you're writing two things, this is considered as this two. If you wanted to add it, you can add it by having colon here like this and add increment by 2. So if you write increment by 2, what happens? E will be removed and L will be removed here because normally it is 1, right? So normally by default it is 1. Okay, it increments by 1. Okay, so now if I write 2 here, now H will be there and E will be removed and L will be there and one more L will be removed and skips it. Okay, if I write 3, then first you will have H and EL will be removed and 1L will be there. That's it. You can see HL is there. So did you get this? So if I write 3, which means we'll get 2 like HEL, that's it. So if I write 4, you will get hull here. And if I write if I starts from 1 and then 3, which will be EL, that's it. Because 1 means which is E, right? The indexing is E. So 0, 1, 2, 3. However, 3 ending position is just ends. It doesn't print. Okay. So now EL will be written. So did you get this Python string indexing and slicing? So this is what slicing is. Did you get this, guys?
Yes, Vinay.
Okay, so I'm expecting everybody is.
Yes, Vinay.
Everybody. Okay. Yeah. Then so this is start. This is end and increment. So increment is by default it is 1. So let's suppose, as I said again, I'm explaining. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now by default is incremented by 1. So that's why we are not, whenever you are not doing anything, it's not, we are not missing any value, right? 6, let's suppose. So I forgot to add this. So, okay, this is particularly incrementing by 1. And if I increment by 2, where I 2, first I didn't run this. Okay, this is the previous output. First, you'll be have H. Since it is incrementing by 2, it will not consider E, and then L it will consider, and O it will consider. So HLO will be there. So that is what. So if I wanted to access only one element, okay, one particular this is hello world A, and I want to get only one character, HELLO, comma this W. So which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's why we are getting 7. So this way you can get the one element. It's not an element, one character. Okay, and then in order to get the length of this, there is a function called len of A. So you can see this count of this characters are 13. Okay, this also includes one space as well. If you could see, there is one space after comma. This also include one space as well. So along with that, we have 13. So that you have to remember, len means finding the length of the characters. And txt, the next one, txt equals to the best things in life are free. We have it, we have this string. Okay, so what we are trying to do, free in text, that means txt. Free is available in the txt variable or not, we are asking. Okay, so that means it is available, right? So that's why we got true. So this is the use of in keyword. In keyword means free in txt means free is available in text or not. So now if I write this something like this, it's not available, right? It should be false. Okay. And the other one, this one we already dealt with. Okay, here again I thought I didn't, step means increment means both are same name. So yeah, and then we have the negative indexing as well, right? Negative indexing in the sense we have A, right? What is A right now? Hello world. Okay, so now I'll start with A -1 to -3. Okay, sorry, not -3. So last value it will be giving. So -1 means negative indexing means it starts from end. Okay, it starts from end. So positive indexing means it starts from start. Negative indexing means it starts from end. So now what I want to reverse this string. So I want to reverse this string. How I will be writing this code? So I'll be writing this way and -1. I'll increment by -1 because first you will get -1. Okay, -1, it's -2. What is the value? D, right? D comes under -2. Okay, and -2 -1 -3. So L will come into that time. I mean L will have that place. So likewise, this is the reverse of a string. Okay, reverse of the string. Reversing the string values, characters. So this is how you have to build a logic whenever you get a free time. Just try to practice this slicing, string slicing and string indexing concept. Okay, yeah, this is the same thing. So this also we have done. So -3 represents from end to from end to 3 positions. Okay, I'll just get this is. So you can see hello world. So it started from -3, which means 0, sorry, 1, -1, -2, -3. So -3 from it started and ended till end. Okay, we didn't give any end, so that's why it will be completing the complete string, variables data. So LD underscore, sorry, exclamatory mark. So this I already explained what reversing of a string. So this is done, and this is also done. So here what we are doing, -1, which are like -1 means which starts with end, right? So yeah, hello world. Last one will be exclamatory mark and D, because -3 is the ending position. And -3 should be ending position, so that's why that value is not returned. Generally -2 is L, right? And then -1 is a step. So if you don't write -1, it won't go going the through the -1, -2, minus this kind of environment will not happen, because by default it is 1, right? So -1 plus 1 0. So you'll not get any elements if you write just if you don't write anything in the place of step. So these things, so I just gave a glance. So you have to practice of your own, because these all things, explaining all the things would take time. It's not like a simple thing. So again, I am explaining the same thing again here, again here, again here. Everything is duplicate things. So just this is for your own practice. Once I give this notebook, you should practice of your own. So and you have to do some experiments. Like you have to give some variable and give some string value there, and try to slice in a way that comes to you in your mind. I want to slice this first 3 characters. Okay, slice it. I wanted to get last 3 digits. So you can write like -3, comma, yeah, -3 slide, so colon, -1. Likewise, you can write. Okay. So yeah. So slicing, you have to again go through this, and then you have to practice. So there is one more thing, replace. So now what I'm writing, a dot replace, and this one, hj. So if you could see here, wherever h is there, this will be replaced with j. So that is what replace function is. So you can see hello world is there. So since h is replaced with j, you can see j hello world, likewise. So now what is upper? So now we have a equals to hello world and a dot upper, which is capitalizing all the letters. So that is what upper is. Same thing with lower. So which is capitalizing all the low, which is lowering the lowercase letters. It is converting and printing it. And again we have hello world and a dot print. This returns hello world. Okay. So generally we have split function where we are splitting using space. So now this one element will be this hello, comma, hello, comma, and the other element would be world, because we have one space. We have one space, and that space we are split through space. So one element would be hello, the other element would be world. So now this is the output, and if I wanted to split through comma, I can write comma like this. So you can see hello, and the world is the other one. Okay, So this again you have to practice again. So we have join. So hello world and a plus b. So I mean hi dot join b. So which is concatenate the things. That's it. So it's just concatenating the things. You can use a plus b and this one as well. So anything is fine. And then we have this is not required, something which is okay. One thing, the other thing, we have escape character to insert character that are illegal in a string. So use an escaped character. So generally, so we are so-called Vikings from the south, from the north. So this is a string. Okay, I want to print this. So what happening? Print txt and other print text2. This is print txt2, right? So if you could see, Vikings is represented like this. Why? If I simply write this, I will write this code in a way that it will not work. So why we are adding this one? If what if I don't add this? Okay, I want this Vikings to be in a I want this Viking to be in a double quotes in the print statement. After printing this txt, I want this Viking to be in a double quotes, right? So with the simple statement, we are so called this and from south. So it will throw an error. Okay, it is throw an error saying invalid because this we have escape character. You know how to escape a character? Just simply double quotes and this, and then sorry. Okay, you are just adding this this one and this one, which escapes double quotes. Okay, which escapes double quotes in the sense which will properly show you the double quotes with Vikings. So if you could see, you can see we are so-called Vikings from south, north. So you can see this way. But if you could see this, so the difference between this is this. Okay. So here, if you could see backslash n, which means next line. So this one will be printed in the next line. So you can see next line, even though this is in the same line, whatever comes after this, n, the side that will be in the next line. We are so-called Vikings from north. No, from north is in the below. Okay, so are you clear till here? Escape characters and all.
Yes, Vinay.
Yes, Vinay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is done. And then booleans. So booleans means you already know what is boolean. True, false is a boolean, right? So 10 greater than 11, what it is? Is it true or false? False, right? So that is what boolean is. That's it. So booleans is used for comparison operators like if else loops and etc. So this is one thing. So if you are this definitely 10 greater than 11, that should print false. Okay, because if you write this in a single quotes, what it is, this is a text field, right? It will print that same text what you have written. But if you could see, false. Okay, for a 12 less than greater than 11, true. So this is what booleans in Python. So Python indentation. So indentation means proper way of writing a code. So if you could see, just assume this is one sample if else block, and you can see how much space I have added here, how much space I have added here, how much space I have added here. So this follows some indentation. Okay, this follows some particular structure and the scope of the code. If you miss that structure, it will throw an error. And it's unlike Java. You will in Java for providing the scope and all, you will be having a curly brackets. Okay, Java code. But here we don't have curly brackets, curly braces. And then so in case of this one, single this one you don't have curly brackets, and then here we have indentation. So this indentation represents, okay, this particular piece of code belongs to this elif. Likewise, and high from first condition. Okay, this one nothing. So whenever we go to if else condition, I'll be talking on that. But indentation is that thing. So if you could see my real project, that might also have indentation, but seems like nowhere I have used that kind of approach, like having a condition and trying to build an this kind of space. So nothing like that in my project. So but generally you have to remember, indentation means like if you don't provide proper indentation, it will throw an error. Okay, so again, so you can see this is the Java code. So you can see this piece and this curly brackets, and in between it's providing high. So this way, if you see how it is, there's a difference, right? So it's with spaces, right? It's a spaces. Okay. So next, yeah, are you clear till here? This is the basics of Python. So we have completed the basics of Python. Okay, so arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators are used for mathematical operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So I'll quickly go through it. Okay. So addition means 2 plus 3. So plus is something which will adds up the value. And subtraction means minus, you already know, which is like 5 minus 2, 3. Multiplication star, which is known as yeah, 3 into 4, 12. And divided by 0, sorry, divided by 2. So divides left hand operated by the right side one. So 10 by 2, which is 5.0. Okay. And then modulus, so 7 percentile 3, which means any issue. Sorry, somebody spoke. Okay.
No, Vinay.
Okay, so modulus means basically reminder you will be getting. So 7 percentile 3, that means 7 twos are 6, and 1 will be the remainder. You'll get this way. And exponential means power. Okay, 2 to the power of 3, which is 8. So likewise. Okay, floor division. So generally, if you are simply dividing, you will get complete. Say, let me write 9 divided by 2, 4.5, right? So you'll get 4. So that is what floor division is. Okay, so this is what operators are. So are you clear till here? Any doubts? I don't think so. It's completely simple. So you can go through W3 schools. But yeah, if you have any doubts, you can ask right away. Okay, so print statements in Python. So you already know we have done print statement, right? So print hello world. So since it is a string, so you're writing this in double quotes or single quotes. Anything is fine. And whenever I'm doing, it will is printed. And printing multiple items. Name equals to this, age equals to 30. And now what happens? I'm printing variables. So that's why whenever you are printing variables, you don't need to write it in single quotes. Okay. So name means which represent this area, this one. Is means which is I wanted to, write string. Age again, and year old, which is a string again. So you can say name Alice is 30-year-old. So that is how you'll be printing multiple items, and in between we can print string as well. Okay, string formatting. There are several ways to format the strings in Python. So basically, this is what string formatting is. So what we have done here, we have written this way, right? So you can use if name is age, this way, which means Alice is 30 years old. So if you write like this, that is also fine. But make sure that you write F here and Alice this one. So again, this is also other way of writing, dot format name comma age, so which is also fine. So because you're forwarding name first, which means this, and age second, which means this. So this one k is l years old. That for k equals to name and l equals to age. This is also fine. So you're assigning this one and this one, so which is feasible. You can use anything that whatever you want. When any kind of syntax you feel easy, you can use whenever you are developing a project. Okay. So this one also, so 0 represent this, 1 represent this. So you are swapping this. One is here, 30 is L is years old. So you are swapping, right? So that's why it is like that. If you write 0 starting and 1 at the second one, so that will be fine. Okay, so this is not required percentage formatting. So this is enough actually. And yeah, so are you clear till here? So string formatting and all this, all you can, once I give this notebook, so try to install the Jupyter notebook, try to, do this, by looking at this, you might not be able to, remember these things. It might seems to be easy right now, but once you get into the task and do these things, like online, I mean, on the UI or some kind of webs, our machine, Python, in Python, Jupyter notebook, or you will not be able to do these things. Hmm. And then, so can we go to the next one, or I mean, can we spend one more 30 minutes? Or this is enough? What do you feel, guys? Priyanka, Lokesh, and Akhil, Satyakiran.
I think up to now it's enough, Vinay. But your wish.
Uh, yeah, actually, these are basics. So, I mean, did you feel difficult in this?
No.
No, right? Okay, so maybe we can go with control flow statement because if you practice with this, it won't help much. So if you go with control flow statements, you might be it will be a bit interesting for you. So you'll go
Hmm.
with that, which might take around 15 minutes, not more
Okay.
than that.
Okay.
Okay, control flow statements in Python. So basically, this provides some flow control. Okay, if that happens, what should be written? If this happens, what should be written? Like that. Okay, some kind of if this happens, so this should be returning. So likewise, so there are control flow statements and loops as well. Okay, so we have if statement. So current if statement is used to test a condition and execute a block of code if condition is true. So we have x equals to 7. We have defined the variable in x equals to 7. Now what we are doing, we have written x greater than 5. That means which will be true actually, right? Print. Now we are printing x is greater than 5. And again, once you start if, you either can use if else, or else simple if is fine. But if you want more conditions, you can write elif. Like you can write if, elif, again else, like that you can write. Last one should be else. Okay. If none of the condition meets, this should be printed. That is what it is. So you have to start if x greater than 5 colon print x is greater than 5. We are writing it. Okay. You can write whatever you want, but make sure that whenever you are writing colon, it should be intended. Okay. Indentation should be there, proper indentation. So it should be not be like this. It will throw an error. Okay. So you can see it threw an error. So expected unindented block after if statement. So this is not indented, right? So let's make it proper indentation. Maybe you might be thinking this way also possible, but it's not a, here you give 4 spaces, here you give 2 spaces, which doesn't looks good. So try to give it proper way. Okay, now I'll make it x equals to 5. So which means x is equals to 5 should be printed. So you can see x is equals to 5. So this is double equals to you have read, unlike equal, you have to write double equals to because uh, comparing, right? So here you can see in equal what you will be writing employed equals to 5, right? But here you are seeing employed equals to 5 means there you are just comparing where employed equals to 5, which means comparing, right? But if you could see when we compare is x equals to 5 we have written. Okay, this means just whether it is equals to or not. But here if you could see x equals to 5, which is like x we are assigning it as 5 assigning. So that is the difference between SQL and Python. So x double equals to means it is checking for the condition whether it is equals to 5 or not. Here we are just assigning with x as x is holding 5. Here that represent x is holding 5. Here we are just checking a condition whether x is 5 or not. Okay. Okay. So that's it. And then if I write x4, else condition will be there because nothing passed. So we are writing this. Nothing passed. So that's why Python is writing this. Because x something greater than 5, which is false because we have 4, and x is not equals to 5, which is 4, and else part will be executed if nothing is met. Okay. So yeah, this we already gone through. And while loop, so we have while. So while loop executes a set of statement as long as condition is true. Okay. So what happens? So while means loop means looping. Maybe you can say Instagram, something like there is boomerang, right? Something it keeps on executing, right? So in the same way, looping means looping through the same code again. Okay. So that is what it is. So now what I have done, I equals to 1 while I less than or equals to 6. This is the condition. Until unless this condition meets, this code will be executed. So until unless you stop that, boomerang, what we call touch on the screen, that will be executing, right? Looping through again and again. In the same way, we have while loop. Until unless this condition becomes false, it will stop. And like until this condition is false, this printing of the statement will be stopped. So now we started with 1. If you could see 1 less than 6, which is true, then it exits print I, which is 1 is printed. And now what we are doing, we are incrementing, right? We are incrementing I with 1. So now I will be 2. Okay, with the help of this, we have made I equals to 2. So now again 2 less than 6. Now print 2, then 2 printed. Now I will be 3, and again it will go to this 3 less than 6, which is 3 will be printed, and again 4, 4 less than 6, which is printed 4, and then 5 it is incremented, 5 less than 6, which is printed 5 and incremented to 6, 6 less than 6, which is false, right? 6 is equals to 6, 6 is not less than 6. Now this loop gets terminated. I mean, this will be terminated, and whatever prints will be printed here. That's it. That is what while loop is. Until the condition is true, it executes the statements under the while loop. Okay. Now you can see I can write anything. Okay. I will write like this. Vinay. So how many times Vinay will be executed? 5 times, right? Because this is 5 times true. But if I write 3, 4 here, now it will be executed only 4, 5, 2 times. Okay. You can say 2 times. Vinay 2 times. So because that depends on our initialization, and the statement should be true. Until the statement is true, this piece of code will be executed. That is what it is saying. Okay. Any doubts still here, guys? Okay, I assume you don't have any doubts still here. And then we have for loops. So the for loop in Python is used to iterate over a sequence. Okay. So generally, for loop is nothing but, let's suppose, just assume this is a collection of elements. This is actually a list in Python. Okay, we'll be talking about list in the later sessions. But as of now, just assume this is the collection of elements. So what we are doing for I in fruits, print I. So each element will be printed each time. Okay. So what we are doing, we are, for I means one element at a time. It loops through each element. Apple is one element, it is printed, and again, if again banana one element it printed, and cherry one element it printed. So you can just even print three times anything. If I wanted to write, if I write Vinay, let's make it win three times. So that is what for loop is. Okay, we have list range function which start whenever you're writing range 10, which means which starts from 0 to 9. So just remember range function. So we are converting this range function to list like this. So which provides you the list of elements. If I write range of 100, it will give till 99 from 0. Okay, likewise. And now we have h equals to Vinay, which is like which is a string, and I want each element at a time. Okay, each character. Okay, so I'm writing for I in range of len of h, because if we talk about string functions, we will have this is 0, this is 1 index, right? This is 2, and this is 3, and this is 4, right? So now if I write h of 0, I mean h bracket open square bracket and 0, that should print v, right? V. If h bracket open bracket close 1, that should print I, right? So if h of 3, that should print n, sorry, a. So likewise, so we are finding length which is 5, right? Range of 5 would be starting from 0 to 4. So 0 to 4, right? So first it will be 0 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? This is printing. And ultimately this h of I means that is what it is printing: v, I here, n here, and a here, y here. So that is what using range function we are doing this. And for I in range of 10, how it does. So if I write I in 5, so generally this actually prints 5, right? And if you could see print of I, this prints 0 1 2 3 4 5. Instead of printing it, what I have done, I have made it h of I, which prints each element at a time, each element. So that is what this code is. Okay, so till here and everything is clear.
It's clear, Vinay.
Okay, so we have break and continue. So break is used to exit a loop. Continue is to skip the current block and return to the loop statement. Okay, so break means something. So if I have for x in range of 10, okay, how many values it should print? 0 to 9, right? Range means 0 to 9. If you're writing 10, that means 0 to 9. So 0 to 9 will be printed. And if x equals to 5, then break it. Okay, then break it. That means we are saying if x equals to 5, then break it. That means you don't need to go to the next looping, even though it is true. So now 0 is printed, 1 is printed because x is 0, and again it went, and 2 is printed, and again 3 is printed, and 4 is printed. When x equals to 5, at that time this condition is met. If x equals to 5, then break it, so it won't be executing the statement further and then giving you to the data. So that is what break is. If I write x equals to 6 here, it would be printed till 0 1 2 3 4 5. So that's how it prints. Okay, so break, did you get this, guys? You will be writing a break with if condition inside it. So whenever this condition meets, if you apply break, so this this gets terminated from the loop. So when coming to continue, so if you could see x equals to 10, so that means 0 to 9 will be printed. And if x equals to 1, continue. So that means 1 means continue, which means continue will skip the current block, current iteration. It will skip that particular current block. If you could see 0 is there, but 1 is not there. So only this one it will be skipping and continue to next loop. But break is something it will just get out of the get out of this loop itself. Okay, break means it will just skip that iteration and go to the next iteration. So this is all about break and continue. So in the next class, we'll be speaking on the further things. Uh, yeah, tomorrow we'll be having class at the same time. So till here you can practice. So these things you can get it from W3 schools. So that is more than enough. Okay, so you just start with intro. This is basic, this thing just good to know what, where it is used, how it is used. So that things you can see Python used to handle big data and perform complex mathematics. So, like basically that is something related to how Python will be. You can this you can skip this part. However, your systems are installed with Python, I guess, and you just try to install Jupyter Notebook, and you can just see basic syntax, how to do, how to print the statements and all, and how to run the Python file. Okay, file you'll be writing using Python and file name.py. Okay, but yeah, since you are using Jupyter Notebook, no need to worry about that. So what is indentation they have spoke? So this is what indentation is. And then okay, so this thing, what are variables? We have a x equals to 5, same thing whatever I have explained. So most of the things are same. This is a comment, something like that. You can just go through. I think we have covered almost till here, so you can go through this. And we also covered if and while and for loop, so this three. So whatever you feel that we have covered today, so just go through that. And if you have time, you can go through the next things as well. That makes our progress bit faster, and we'll progressing faster in, I mean, Python will be going fast, because it will be easy, right? So Python doesn't have any full of, like, not like a skill like of code, like building many logics and all. So Python for data engineer, you need only basic things, that's it. So yeah, so after this Python course we'll be going through Linux and Hadoop environment. So there you have to spend some time, but if you have time, just go through this double three schools. So yeah, next class we'll be speaking on the other things. Okay.